Lackland Air Force Base is known as the gateway to the Air Force. Each year, thousands of men and women report here for boot camp, basic military training. But tonight, they're getting a much-needed break. Airmen recruits, along with soldiers from Fort Sam Houston, are packing the stands for this year's Armed Forces Boxing Championship. Welcome to TPC Sports coverage of the 2011 Armed Forces Boxing Championship. And a big hello to those watching on American Forces Network around the world. I'm Van Stokes here with legendary boxing expert Bert Sugar. And Bert, it's great to have you with us. These are rivalries of the highest nature.
So much so, Van, that I wore a new boxing tie. How do you like that?
I like that.
Isn't that proof that you can really never get dressed in the dark? Oh no, this is exciting, and I'll tell you why it's exciting for more reasons than just two men in the ring. These two men are not only representative of their Armed Forces service branch, they're representative of their specific base, unit, whatever, and there's pride in this. And for the winner, a chance to go forward to the Olympic box office to qualify, hopefully, for America for the 2012 London Olympics.
You put pride together with heart and high boxing skill, and that road to the London Olympics in 2012 could be a real possibility.
This is what we have here, and that's, to me, is excitement.
That it is. Tonight, we're going to take you ringside to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, for all of the action in the 201-pound weight class. Army Sergeant Charles Blackwell of Tucson, Arizona, is up against Marine Lance Corporal Norman Watford of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Blackwell is the defending champ in this weight class. Let's see how well the Marine does against him. Let's get to the action, and let's turn it over to ring announcer Castle Chalice as this preliminary bout gets underway.
Boxing out of the red corner and representing the United States Army, he's a truck driver from Tucson, Arizona. Now stationed in Tucson, Arizona, he weighed in today at 201 pounds. He is the 2010 Armed Force Champion. Let's hear it for Charles Trey Blackwell.
Charles Blackwell, the 2010 Armed Forces champion, slips in between the ropes and gets that properly fitted protective headgear. As meanwhile, standing on the outskirts is his opponent.
Out of the blue corner, he's representing the United States Marine Corps. He's a supply warehouse clerk from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now stationed at Camp Lejeune, he weighed in at 179 pounds. He is the 2010 National Brown Gold Gloves Champion. Let's hear it for Norman Watford.
Norman Watford comes into the ring.
For this bout is Rich Neves from Pleasanton, California.
And he's got that Marine Corps behind him. But let's take a quick look at the rules in amateur boxing before we get started. The bouts are 3 rounds of 3 minutes each with a 60-second rest period in between. Now, the judges will be using a computerized scoring system. Blows are scored when the white part of the glove strikes the front part of the head or the body. 3 out of 5 judges must score a blow within a 1-second window. And fouls can result in cautions or warnings or even disqualification by the referee. And remember, the referee can stop a bout due to injury, blows to the head, or a dominant lead. He is the third man in the ring, and they're primarily for safety.
What I liked about Blackwell was the fact he was hitting himself standing there waiting as if he wanted to inure himself to punches. Haven't seen that since Marvelous Marvin Hagler, who did the same thing.
Well, I'm told sometimes that when you can basically just give yourself a rap on the head, it will intensify your focus and sharpen it to where it needs to be. As we're just about ready to get this preliminary bout, the heavyweight division, 201 pounds, underway. A quick look around the judges' ringside, and we are underway.
You just look at him. Blackwell looks much bigger than Watford.
He carries himself well, strikes quick with the left hand.
Well, it was that crossover right behind it, and he got credit for it.
Oh, he took one as well.
But he's just stalking him. And Watford went down on his own accord, slipping.
There you get a quick look now.
That happens occasionally, Van, when you don't have a proper apron and you don't have foot space underneath the bottom rope.
Watford gets off some shots of his own, but not in the eyes of the judges. Blackwell, relentless in pursuit here in the opening minute of the first round.
You can almost tell he's got every punch is a home run ball. It's a heavy-handed approach, destined just to immobilize and maybe knock out his opponent. There's no technical skill here, just wham away.
It's just power on power. A couple of quick lefts, and then he comes right back with the right on that, Bert.
And they too were heavy jabs.
But you look at the judges' scorecard, and you can see right now this is almost an even bout. In fact, the nod does go to Lance Corporal Norman Watford.
Got on a nice right hand.
You saw the head rock back that time of Charles Blackwell.
What he's doing is waiting to counter. As Blackwell comes in flailing away, Watford is throwing counter punches. Again, it's Blackwell coming forward.
What I like about Blackwell right now as he evens out the score is his attempt to cut the ring down against Norman Watford. If he can, he's going to cut it down to the point where he's going to put him in the corner.
But he's hitting him on the back of the head.
That's because Watford ducked. And there you see the referee saying, keep your head up. And he also tells Blackwell no hitting behind the head.
Which always reminds me of once I asked George Foreman, did he ever play football? He said, no. I said, why? He said, because I don't want to get hit from behind. You can't hit the man from behind in the back of the head.
An even score, but Blackwell looks like he's on the attack right now, Bert.
Well, he is on the attack. Now the question is, can he land? You don't get scores for punching. This is missing. This is not horseshoes coming close.
Out of that barrage, he did land a left hand, and that picked up an additional point.
Nice right.
There's a good right, and that one's going to bring an 8 count. Sets it up with the left, and then comes right back across with the right.
Now, Van, as you've said certain and innumerable times, that 8 count is a protection device. It's not to reward him for immobilizing his opponent, the hitter, but it's to save the hittee from any damage.
Oh, and speaking of shots, there's some shots right there. And that is the second 8 count.
And the round is essentially over, so I don't think he'll be subjected to 3 standing 8 counts.
A barrage of punches. And this round number 1, comes to a close, but not before Norman Watford took 2 standing 8 counts in that round.
Okay, just don't smother yourself when you get inside, all right? Step back to him, pick up where you left off at, all right? He's not big enough to hold that, okay? All right, be smart about it. Don't walk in there and not conscious about your defense, okay?
In so many words, Bashir Abdullah says, bring it on. Let's see what Jesse Ravella has to say.
Okay? Move. What you got to do is jab, throw your right hand, throw your combination, and then move. Once he follows you, boom, let it go again. Don't get flat-footed waiting for him to see what he's going to do, okay? This fight is yours if you want it. It's an easy fight, man. This guy's going to get tired. Come on, man.
They only hit you when you're standing still, man. All right, get yours and go, all right?
How do you see it, Bert? Sound advice?
In both corners. But the most obvious truism was Abdul saying, you're bigger than he is. We saw that immediately, and that's what, in the heavyweight division, that's a massive advantage.
Well, here we go, round number 2. quick left by Charles Blackwell.
And what Watford's corner said was don't stay in one place. Well, he's moving around, but there he comes. He's trying to counter, and Blackwell's just pounding him. Those are hurting all the way over here.
A third 8 count could bring this one to an end. If Blackwell can
he
deliver.
just threw him down. He just threw him down.
Yeah. No, it's not a knockdown. Watford simply gets tangled up in the ropes.
Well, he got a little bit of help there from Blackwell.
They clean off the gloves. They're ready to go at it again. One shot, two shot, and down he goes. And that's going to be it.
I think they're going to stop it. If they don't now, they should soon.
That's going to be it.
That left hand landed nicely, and it is. It is. It's over.
That is going to be it for Norman Watford. After 2 8 counts in the first round, he took a shot there, dropped to his knees, and that referee will stop the contest as Dr. Marilyn Boitano comes into the ring to take a look at this boxer, Lance Corporal Norman Watford of the United States Marine Corps.
Blackwell threw everything he had in the direction of Watford and caught him with a beautiful left hand on the chin. And Watford signaling he thinks he's all right partially.
He's okay, but you can see Dr. Boitano is not going to let him get to his feet until she's got the assurance that he's going to have the legs to hold him upright. And he does as he comes over to his corner now. And this bout has come to an end early on here in the second period. To the fast hands and to the power of Charles Blackwell.
Blackwell didn't throw a punch that didn't have mean intentions. Every one of them had his whole body behind it.
And that was probably as an effective round of boxing as we have seen in a while. I'm talking primarily about the first round and then the finishing, if you will, here in the second round.
Let's hear it for these boxers, everyone. Let's hear it.
It just looked to me, Van, as if Blackwell was out for fungo practice and executed as well as he promised.
Big round of applause. Let's go back to Castle for the official call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Out of the red corner, Charles Trey Blackwell.
That's a little bit of TCB taking care of business. Let's see what he has to say to Castle.
Well, he did it again. There's a game opponent in there, huh? He's given up almost 20 pounds, but he just came at you right from the opening bell.
Yeah, he had a lot of heart to stand here. Not too many dudes want to stand there and throw with me, but I give all my credit to the Marine opponent. He did his thing in there today.
Yeah, you had some clubbing shots. What was your game plan going into this?
Try and box more. I'm still a baby in this thing. I get better and better. My power is all I have to go on. But with every fight, I try and box more and more and learn this craft.
Yeah, well, it looks like you're just getting better, and we're watching you grow up right in front of our eyes. What are your thoughts for the next bout you have coming up on Friday?
I said it at All Army. You're not a champion until you defend, so all I want to do is defend. Go Army.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you defend that belt, and congratulations on a great win tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Charles Blackwell will move on to the championship bout in the 201-pound weight class, the heavyweights. And Bert, he referred to himself as being just a baby. When this guy becomes fully grown in the ring, he could really be someone to contend with.
He reminds me of Riddick Bowe, who had a lot of power and had to add on the techniques and the style, which is what Eddie Futch taught him. Blackwell can go a long way, but he's got to learn some of those techniques and skills that will make him a boxer hyphen puncher rather than a puncher hyphen puncher.
We're going to have an opportunity to see more of Charles Blackwell later on. That'll be in the gold medal match. I look forward to it. Up next, the Air Force takes on the Navy in the next preliminary bout. Who will move on to fight the Army in the finals? Stick around and find out on TPC Sports. So far, Army boxer Charles Blackwell is heading to the finals. Who will join him in the ring? It's shaping up to be a battle of the Wolverine State. Both competitors are natives of Michigan. Air Force boxer Kent Brinson of Monroe, Michigan, takes on Navy boxer Sean Sedgeman of Dearborn, Michigan. Now, both boxers have equal experience, 7 years in the ring. Bert, this should be an interesting battle. It's not just for the pride of the state of Michigan, but really for the pride of the service.
Every time they fight, any two from the different services, it's for the pride of their service, not the service. And you said it right. It's the pride of Michigan. Having gone to Michigan, it's the pride of Michigan. These guys will give up, whomsoever is the winner, a weight advantage to Blackwell. But let's see from this fight if they give up a skill or a heart advantage.
We shall see, because the winner will move on to the gold medal bout. Well, let's get to the action in the second preliminary competition. Once again, here's Castle.
Out of the red corner, here he is representing the United States Air Force. He's a radio frequency transmitter from Monroe, Michigan. Now stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado. He weighed in at 199 pounds. He's a 3-time Toledo Golden Gloves champ. Let's hear it for Kent Brinson.
Kent Brinson comes into the ring representing the United States Air Force from Monroe, Michigan. And his opponent also from the Wolverine State.
And out of the blue corner, he's representing the United States Navy. He's an information technician from Dearborn, Michigan. He's now stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. He weighed in at 197 pounds, and he's the 2007 ringside champ. Let's hear it for Sean Sedgeman.
Sean Sedgeman.
Referee for the bout, Spence Carpenter from West Branch, Michigan.
With Spence Carpenter, our third man into the ring. Sedgeman
And also
climbs
from
in.
Michigan.
And also from Michigan. So this is really, this is really a Wolverine contest.
I hope they fight like Wolverines, who are fierce animals.
So we have the two boxers in the ring and the official in the ring. And of course, my broadcast partner, Mr. Bert Sugar, graduate of the University of Michigan School of Law.
So who should I be rooting for?
The Wolverine. You root for, when in doubt, you root for the Wolverine.
Hail,
okay?
Hail to the victors. Hail to the victors.
Well, they've each received their final instructions from the ring official. They will tap those gloves and head back to the corner. Preliminary bout number 2 in the 201-pound weight class, the heavyweights. Judges ready? Timers ready? Are you ready? Let's hope so, because we are underway. Sedgeman in the blue from the Navy, blue gloves, and in the red jersey, red trunks from the Air Force Kent Brinson. And already you can quickly see this is a little bit different from the first preliminary and 201 pounds that we saw.
Well, they're not pulling the trigger on every punch. They're actually trying to set up the jab here. And goodness knows they're not as skilled as you would wish, but they look, both of them look like they want to throw that power punch.
Skilled, and nor do you perhaps see some of the quickness that we may have seen in earlier bouts.
Yeah, but heavyweights don't have to be skilled. They have to be powerful. You're not, a heavyweight doesn't pay off by tap dancing. He pays off by tapping the other guy on the chin.
Well, you know, the last heavyweight, Bert, that won a national title, who was from the military, was in 1988, and he also won the Olympic gold. That, of course, Ray Mercer, who was a soldier stationed in Baumholder, Germany at that particular
He
time.
learned to fight in the service, matter of factly. And you've had other heavyweights, Leon Spinks, Ken Norton, both of whom came out of the Marine Corps, and go all the way back to right at World War I. And that always fascinated me that they named it World War I as if they knew another war was coming. Gene Tunney, a Marine who became a great heavyweight champion, one of the greatest of all time. In fact, I mentioned him as one of the all-time pound-for-pound bests in my new book, The Ultimate Book of Boxing Lists. So the heavyweight division and the service arms have been an item for, below those 80 years. Do we have another one on the horizon?
A little early to see, but 2012 Olympics down the road still. I like that word picture, the Ellis Island for greatness for professionals. And right now, Kent Brinson, by the way, has built himself a nice margin here, leading 7-2 as we come down to the final 15 seconds here in round one of this heavyweight preliminary contest to see who's going to advance to the championship and face Charles Blackwell, the Army. And our referee says, no, you're pushing him away. You can't do that. Stand up and box. And there's the bell to end round number one. Brinson back to the red corner, Sedgeman back to the blue corner. Let's see if we can't give a listen now to what these instructions might be.
Hey, let's set everything off with something straight, okay? Let's start off with the jab and then the two. 1-2's down the pipe, okay? Then double up on your hook. Double up to the head, to the body, and then come back to the head. Okay? All day with that. All right? Body and back to the head. Okay?
All right. Well, what you're doing is you're letting him go first. Right? You're letting him go first. I need you to go first. I need one head movement out of you, aim for his chest, and hit him with power. Okay? You gotta stop this guy. Your left hook is gonna work. Okay?
So, Bert, do you see this as a contest of who's going to go first, and maybe whoever goes first might actually come out on top at the end?
Oh, in part. Yeah, the jab is, though, the equalizer here, because if you can keep a big man, and heavyweights are, off balance and trying to block the jab, not only do you set up your right, you tend to either distract them or blind them with that left hand, and both of them are right-handed, so it's a left-hand jab, in their face. And that's what both corners are asking for. Set it up with that left jab.
That's exactly what Sedgeman's trying to do as round two is underway. He's trying to go first and get in there. But Brinson skillfully countering and getting away from the ropes.
And what's interesting is that throughout the history of boxing, some of the best jabbers have been heavyweights. Larry Holmes, one of the greats. Sonny Liston, everything acted off his jab. A jab is all important to a power puncher because it sets up the right hand of orthodox fighters or vice versa, left-handed.
Kent Brinson now out to a 10-2 lead on terms of scoring blows in the eyes of the 5 judges around the ring. And he continues to land to the body. He was told go to the body, then up to the head. And this is a weight class when you look back internationally, especially at the Olympic level. Teofilo Stevenson, Felix Savon from Cuba. We're talking 3-time gold medalists. That's 6 gold medals between those 2 boxers.
And the only man they equal that is Laszlo Papp of Hungary. You know, the Cuban fighters did a good job, but remember they had no professional careers unless they somehow deserted to go professionally. In fact, Teofilo Stevenson is now the Minister of Sports in Cuba. He won 3 gold medals, knocking out the likes of Dwayne Bobbitt and John Tate. Look at this. The 2 of them are scrapping. And yet, Van, I question if their power is the same as, because the winner is going to fight Blackwell, the same as Blackwell.
Well, you're right, Bert. They're landing scoring blows, but you don't see the kind of damage occurring that maybe you might see at the hands of a more powerful fighter.
Of course, I didn't see Blackwell throw a jab either. He was just winging away.
That he was. Well, they go under 1 minute here.
Then again, everything's not as it seems.
Yeah, everything is not always as it appears to be, Bert.
Well, I have to give you the premier example. The smartest man in the world's name was Einstein. And if I goes out before E except after C, he misspelled his name twice. So what am I? I've got to figure out how these 2, or the winner thereof, does well against Blackwell. And here goes.
Well, you say
goes Brinson.
Yeah, you didn't see power a while ago, but you're starting to see it now as Brinson gets relentless here in the final seconds of the 2nd round.
And that's what he's going to need if he marches on to face Blackwell.
That's exactly what he's going to need, and we're going to have the opportunity to find out. But first, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for round 3 when this 201-pound preliminary bout continues. Who will move on to the finals, the Air Force or the Navy? Stick around. We'll find out. Welcome back. We dedicate our coverage to all those watching these fights from downrange. Now, let's get back to the action in this third and final round. Airman Kent Brinson Jr. has a huge lead over Sailor Sean Sedgeman in this preliminary bout. It's the third and final round, and towards the end of round number 2, Bert, we saw Brinson kind of pick up the intensity. Yeah.
I like how you said Seaman Sean Sedgeman. Sounds like rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Well, she sold seashells down by the seashore.
If you remember the movie Singing in the Rain, Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously.
You got that out well, just like Kent Brinson is getting out his punches right now, equally as effective and more damaging, and I might add, as he takes a 21-4 lead.
We won't be saying Seaman Sean Sedgeman in the finals unless he really gets going here, which I question.
Well, unless he finds a home for that right hand, and Kent Brinson seems to be denying that with his defense. He's got his guard up, and Sedgeman unable to get through. You talk about a sizable lead. It would take a stoppage at this particular point in time, really.
Well, he needs, what, 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns, that's exactly right.
Or 2 touchdowns and 2-point extra points. But whatever it is, he's putting in a very good show here. Can he carry this forward against Blackwell? Look.
They just trade blows. They trade blows, and now Sedgeman, who took the backside of that, with an upper and then a left.
Well, he throws good combinations. You'll notice how he follows up.
He took the 8 count, so he's back ready to go now. As we near the 1-minute mark remaining in round 3 of this preliminary heavyweight bout.
See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 left hooks and a crossover right.
And another one like that, Bert Sugar, we could see another 8 count. See the headgear slipping up. He stops to pull it down.
He just throws punches in bunches where Sedgeman does not.
But Sedgeman, credit this, he continues to move forward, whereas Brinson, just as you see there, becomes the artful dodger.
Well, he just artfully dodged off the ropes. It wasn't exactly a Fred Astaire move, but it worked.
I don't know many heavyweights that have a lot of Fred Astaire moves.
One did. His name was Cassius Clay-Muhammad Ali.
Under 30 seconds to go, and now it's Sedgeman in the corner working the likes of Brinson. A little bit of fatigue, perhaps, on the faces of each of the boxers.
The round and the fight are almost over. Under 10 seconds.
And the seconds tick away. There is the final bell ending this preliminary bout in the 201-pound weight class. And seemingly from the get-go, early on at least, it was mostly, if not all, Kent Brinson.
A good fight. Good enough, Van, to be in there against Blackwell? We'll soon find out.
We will, but he was workmanlike there. He knew what he had to do. He came out, got his job done, and that was to win this preliminary bout and advance on to the championship in the heavyweight division. Sedgeman will get his gloves removed.
What do you say, folks? They really let the leather fly, huh? Let's hear it for these guys.
Drink of water for Kent Brinson before they come to the center of the ring. And the salutes and thank yous as they move to the center of the ring. Let's go to Castle for the official call.
And we have a winner this evening in the final bout. He is out of the red corner, Kent Brinson.
Brinson wins. Brinson will move on and advance to the championship bout. He's got to feel fairly good about his performance.
Okay,
let's see.
Some performance there tonight. You guys were pretty evenly matched throughout the entire bout. What were your thoughts on that?
Good fight, good work. It's just work. That's everything is. Treat it like sparring.
Sorry?
Treat it like sparring.
Yeah, did that feel like a sparring bout?
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts the way he just kept coming with the body shots? It seemed like you really had him in the middle of the second round up there in the corner. You weren't able to put him down. Why was that?
Oh, he's a tough kid. I don't have the mentality of stopping people. I'm here to win the fight. If he gets stopped, he gets stopped. But my goal is to win and move on from here.
All right, well, listen, you had a great job tonight. We're put on a great show, and we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Kent Brinson, the winner. He moves on now to the championship bout. Bert, what goes through your mind when you hear someone say, another day in the office?
You either were prepared or cocky. There's a very thin line between being sure of yourself and cocky about yourself. We won't know until he climbs in against Blackwell. That was borderline, but he felt he had it. He did his job. Now he moves on.
It's a thin line, but everybody knows when you cross that line. Up next, the final bout in the 201-pound weight class. It's Army versus Air Force. Which service will take home the gold? Stay tuned. You will find out on TPC Sports. Here it is, the championship bout in the 201-pound weight class. Soldier Charles Blackwell battles Airman Kent Brinson Jr. for the gold medal. Blackwell's a truck driver in the Army Reserves out of Tucson, Arizona. He was the 2010 Armed Forces champion. Here he talks about his boxing style and how the sport makes him a better soldier.
Boxing helps me be a better soldier. Every one of the Army values, loyalty, selfless service, they're all personified in boxing. Loyalty to my teammates, selfless service, we're always going into our community and working with our community and putting on clinics for kids and youth boxers and organizations like that. I couldn't ask for better coaches. I've got Team USA Olympic head coach and Bashir Abdullah in my corner, and some of the best assistants in the world. It helps me as well because their specialty is heavyweights. It's just a wealth of knowledge that the Army has as far as boxing is concerned, and I'm just trying to soak it all up. You can win as much as you want, but I choose to win and look good while I'm doing it. I'm a boxer puncher. I got dog in me if I need to stand in there and just scrap, and I can box when I need to as well. But I'm a way better boxer in the gym than I am in an actual fight because I calm down.
Kent Brinson comes into the ring representing the United States Air Force.
Don't know much about him. Watched him fight last night. Seems pretty explosive, just from a tactician standpoint. Just need to stay on. Me and my coaches will develop a game plan, and how well I stick to it is going to dictate whether or not I win.
Blackwell's opponent is Senior Airman Kent Brinson Jr. He works in radio frequency transmissions out of Fort Carson, Colorado. Brinson has 3 more years of boxing experience than Blackwell. But will that be enough to beat the defending champ? Here's more on his strategy and what he expects from himself.
I know that I have to be motivated and be on top of my game for my unit to even let me come here and have this opportunity. I think that you have to put your best foot forward to be able to get here initially, so you have to be on top of your game. You can't just, get by. So that this is a great opportunity to come here and be able to train and focus on training. I really feel like even in just 6 weeks, I'd love for it to be longer, but in 6 weeks you get an opportunity to really find yourself and get to that elite level, which is difficult to get to when you're working all day. Yeah, I'm always confident. With this scoring system, though, you never know. So you have to go out there and you have to fight, and you come back and you find out how you did. You don't know. Sometimes you think you landed a punch, and if that punch didn't count, it doesn't matter. So you can be as confident as you want to be, but you have to keep working because you just don't know. really go into fights with a strategy. I'm gonna do the best I can do. I feel like I go into a fight with the intention of doing whatever it takes to win. So if that means I go out there and throw 400 jabs, then that's what I do. I try to be free-flowing with it and do whatever it takes to win, because ultimately that's the goal. I don't care how, I want to win.
Now, Bert, both of these boxers dominated their bouts in the preliminaries. How do you see this one shaping up?
Well, if Blackwell can throw with the high velocity he did in winning his fight, I favor him. But as he pointed out, he still doesn't have the technique. He said, I have a lot of dog in me, meaning hungry dog, not dog as is said for someone who lies down. And he goes to brawling. And if he goes to brawling, now the odds shift in the behalf of the better boxer.
We'll see. Let's get to the action. We'll turn it over to Castle as this final bout is ready to get underway.
Making his way, ladies and gentlemen, to the red corner. He is representing the United States Army. He's a truck driver from Tucson, Arizona. Now stationed in Tucson, Arizona. He is the incumbent 2010 Armed Forces champion. Let's hear it for Charles Blackwell.
Charles Blackwell gets into the ring where a year ago he won the gold medal in the heavyweight division, and now he's back to defend that title.
And now making his way to the blue corner, representing the United States Air Force. He's a radio frequency transmitter from Monroe, Michigan. He's stationed now in Fort Carson, Colorado. He is a three-time Toledo Golden Glove champion. Let's hear it for Kent Brinson.
Got a lot of support there, Van.
You do. He comes into the roar of the crowd, Bert. Part of the fact is this is a gold medal match. The other part of the fact, it's the heavyweight division, and the fans have always liked the heavyweights.
Well, that and the fact that the Air Force Base is the Air Force Base. Wouldn't they get a couple fans there?
It's called the hometown crowd. And we want to take this opportunity to say hello and glad you could join us to all those watching on the American Forces Network, wherever you might be. We are glad that you are with us right now. And we also, thanks to wherever you are, we say thanks for doing what you're doing. Sometimes, you know, Bert, you just can't say thank you enough, can you? You just can't. It's that simple.
Not for those who are serving us well. Thank you.
I'm Van Stokes along with Bert Sugar, and we are getting set for the championship of the 2011 Armed Forces Boxing Heavyweight Division.
If you just say that slowly, it excites you. It brings tingles. Heavyweight championship. Say that.
Heavyweight championship bout is underway. You gotta love it.
And you already can see the setup. Blackwell trying to land the big punch. Brinson actually boxing.
It's early on, but Blackwell, no smoke and mirrors there, Bert. It's the real deal.
He's just wailing away. Now, he can.
Nice shot.
Brinson caught him too, which is an upset.
He not only can take it, Brinson can dish it out.
He's so much smaller, and yet he's able to get inside. Did you notice that?
I did, to the body and then up to the head with the left as Brinson takes a 2-1 lead early on in the opening stanza.
And there's Blackwell performing as advertised. He's in that dogfight rather than boxing.
If you can pull your opponent out of the boxing mode and turn it into a brawl, anything can happen.
Well, and beforehand, Blackwell admitted he's not. He tends to get into brawls. Listen to the crowd. They are into this too, Van.
That they are, Bert. Very excited. Understandably so, we might add. As Brinson right now takes a narrow 3-2 lead.
4-2.
4-2.
And those were jabs, which is not exactly what Blackwell's throwing.
Brinson drops his hands. Boy, that is...
And hit him again.
Takes a body shot by Blackwell, and he comes right back at Blackwell. One minute to go, almost, here in the first round, the opening stanza of this 3-round championship bout. Ooh, nice right by Brinson. The crowd loves it. Blackwell retaliates.
Look at that. He's out hustling him and out punching him.
He's getting inside of Blackwell, and he's landing scoring blows. Blackwell comes back with one.
And Brinson just puts his head on his chest and just goes to work, pushing him, shoving him, hitting him.
Nice uppercut with the left by senior airman Kent Brinson.
Who then dances away. Notice, dances away.
I like that. And so does the crowd, obviously, as the tempo picks up. Another quick jab. He goes up 6-3. 10 seconds remaining in the first round. Blackwell comes right back with a right cross. Picks up a point, and Brinson just turned around, exposed his back. Gets cautioned for that as the seconds tick away in round one.
Are we watching a big upset of the reigning champion?
We could be. I mean, this has turned into one of the best first rounds we have seen in this competition.
Right? Doubles and triples, bring them back. Okay? Let the right hand go. Step to the right and let the right hand go. Then the hook, then the 2 again.
Air Force coach Steve Franco is giving his words of guidance to Kent Brinson.
What he's telling him is give him angles. Give him angles. Don't stand in front of him.
If he stood in front of Charles Blackwell, that could be his ticket out of here, because Blackwell is a powerful puncher.
But he's not throwing the punches or the number of them. No jabs, just everything is from the floor almost.
But you know, you take a look at Bashir Abdullah, former Olympic coach, talking to his young boxer, Charles Blackwell, who is behind on points on the judges' scorecard right now, Bert. But he's not showing anxiety in the ring. He's really not.
No, he's just exhorting him. Do what you have to do, but do it a little bit better.
Here we go. Round number 2. To the body, to the head. Brinson lands a shot.
Blackwell hit him once. I didn't.
Hit him.
On the thigh.
On the thigh, below the belt.
Look at that. 4 straight jabs and a right hand behind it.
Bring it on, says Kent Brinson.
And you would think the judges would have seen one of those jabs.
Covers nicely, comes back with the jab, and has an 8-4 lead. Make that 9 as the computerized scoring system adds one more.
There's the power of Blackwell even hitting him on the shoulder.
We're not even to the midpoint of this bout. 3 3-minute rounds.
Brinson might be tired the way he's going back. He's had to carry a lot of his weight and that of Blackwell shoving him around like this. See it?
He does, but right now he has a 9-6 lead. He still manages to land the left. Here comes Blackwell. Blackwell on the offensive. Don't pull him around, says the third man in the ring. Covered nicely, did Brinson. You got to get through that defense in order to score. Blackwell does. This fight is half over, and it's close, Bert.
Brinson's putting up a heck of a fight and would be further ahead if the judges had given him credit for some of those clean-landed jabs.
He has given away height. He has given away reach.
He's given away just his physique.
And Blackwell has chipped away at this lead that Brinson has had. And with under a minute to go here in the second round, has just about evened this up. In fact, he has. And you look at the hands of Kent Brinson as he drops them.
He's tired.
That is from gas. That is from fatigue.
When a guy goes to a southpaw stance, he's tired.
And there comes Blackwell, who takes a lead now in this bout for the first time. Brinson throughout the first round stayed on the attack, but he's been moving backwards more here in the second stanza.
You wonder what the judges are looking like. Brinson landed 4 punches. They gave a point to Blackwell.
Blackwell picking up the tempo, the intensity, the speed, landing more scoring blows, is now up by 3, and there's a solid right. Oh, nice solid right. As this round comes to an end, they go back to the corners, and the time might have been just right for Brinson to go back and get a break after that.
He needs a breather. He needs a blow, as they call it, an inhalation.
Wow.
He ain't got the gas, so you're going to step right back to him. He's too small. He in the wrong way. You're going to be physical. You're going to pick up where you left off at. All right? Good job. Good job.
Bashir Abdullah. In so many words, don't stop doing what you're doing, and that's sound advice.
It was a winning strategy, albeit I question the judges. Of course, I always question the judges, particularly when I'm at a fight.
You got to drop the 2 on him, okay?
We're going to take a quick break. We will be back for round 3 when this 201-pound championship bout continues. It's pretty close, so stick around to see who takes the title, the soldier or the airman, when we return. Welcome back. It's Blackwell versus Brinson, Army versus Air Force, and round 3 of this 201-pound final bout. Let's get back to the action.
And add one word that makes it all worthwhile: heavyweight.
And if I would add one word to that, championship.
Now that's 2 words. You can't do that.
You know what? The crowd feels it though, Bert. They know it's on the line. They saw their man, Senior Airman Kent Brinson, have a pretty good round 1. And then the crowd also saw Blackwell have a pretty good round 2. He's got the slight edge now, and you see Brinson.
Oh, he's tired.
He is on his bicycle pedaling backwards.
He's just tired. Putting up one heck of an effort, but tired. You can see it.
And I think Coach Bashir Abdullah of the United States Army knew that in between the round.
He said, do what you're doing to Blackwell.
Don't stop, pick it up where you left off. And I think that's what Blackwell is doing as he picks up an additional point.
Brinson is really out of the proverbial gas, is trying anything he can. A, to stay upright, B, to land punches, but D, not to stand in front of Blackwell too long.
You know, we heard Blackwell in his interview. He kept talking about values. Those include loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. And they very much on display at this point in time.
Well, he's got the drive, he's got the determination, he's got the discipline. Unfortunately, he might not have the stamina then.
Oh, and there's his shot. Knees buckle and he crumples briefly. Does Kent Brinson, but not enough to warrant an 8 count.
No, it was just, he was just trying to fall down and find a pillow space.
As he falls behind now by 6, Charles Blackwell, who won the gold medal last year, trying to add another one.
And you can see Blackwell, who knows he's ahead, going to the jab for the first time in the fight just to keep Brinson off. It's all he has to do from here on in the last minute. And Brinson looks so tired he can't take advantage of that.
Blackwell knows that he is well conditioned. He has Brinson in the corner. Goes up by 6.
And Brinson is in a survival mode.
But Blackwell right now, Bert, is on top of his game in this contest.
Well, he also has an opponent against him who is just so flat out exhausted.
And there's the 8 count.
And had given him everything he had. You know, that punch which bounced off his headgear did less to hurt him than just to push him backwards an untired leg.
But the referee can see it in the eyes, and again, the 8 count doesn't count more than a scoring blow, but it's for safety purposes, gives the breather to Kent Brinson, and he comes out in the final seconds now here in round 3 with a little more intensity.
And it goes without hesitation to the U.S. Army Sergeant Charles Blackwell in one heck of a performance by Senior Airman Kent Brinson of the Air Force. He gave it everything he had, and just so much so he ran out of gas.
This was not another day in the office any way you cut this one. This was a tough day at work.
For both.
For both boxers. But give the nod to Charles Blackwell, who came from behind after falling behind in the first stanza.
Let's give it up, folks. Let's give it up for that.
And comes back in round number 2 and then basically puts it away in round number 3. And a senior gamer, I should say, a senior airman, Kent Brinson, who was a gamer all the way throughout, stayed there and took some of the best shots that Charles Blackwell could deliver.
P.S. and gave some of his own in the early going.
That he did. Let's go to Castle for the official call now.
After 3 exciting rounds, we do have a winner, and he is out of the red corner, Charles Blackwell.
Charles Blackwell gets another gold medal draped around his neck, and he likes it. Let's see what he has to tell Castle.
Charles, how you feeling?
Feel great. I just won a trip to the Olympic trials.
You sure did, Charles. You sure did. Listen, after the first round, he was up on points, and you had a bloody nose. What did Coach Abdullah tell you? He was pretty emphatic. What did he tell you in between rounds 1 and 2?
They just told me to stick to the game plan. If I swing crazy like I usually do, I probably wouldn't get him out because he's a tough guy. But if I kept my punches straight, my wind would eventually get the best of him because Coach said my wind was better.
Well, you certainly changed the tide in the second round. He seemed to be getting tired. Did you sense that?
Yeah, pushing a big guy like me tires you out. But I think if my opponent would move down to 78, he'd be way more effective.
Charles, you have work ethic that's second to none in the ring. It shows. Where do you get your strength from?
My mother. She's right there.
And what are your thoughts now about going to the Olympic trials to represent the U.S. Army?
I don't come in with the most tools. I got a hard head and I hit hard, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to shock the world.
Well, there you have it. He's ready to shock the world, folks. Your winner, Charles Blackwell!
So a lot of gates to go through, Bert Sugar.
I like that. That reminds me of Muhammad Ali's. This might shock and amaze you. I'm going to retire Joe Frazier. He's going to shock us.
Muhammad Ali said, if you can do it, it's not bragging. It's as simple as that.
He gave us a good performance. Both did. And he might be right about Brinson. He was smaller. He got pushed around and exhausted. And if he drops down one weight class, you might be looking at another Olympic hopeful.
Are we looking at a true Olympic hopeful in Charles Blackwell?
He needs a tiny bit more work on his jab, and yes, a tiny bit more. Because that, if he's lacking something, you can't go for the home run on every shot. And you're going to be facing in the Olympics a lot of Eastern European stand-up fighters that you got to keep off, and it's the jab. I think I just knocked out the cameraman over there.
He's fine, but it's a good road ahead for Charles Blackwell. Well, join us next time for more coverage of the 2011 Armed Forces Boxing Championship. I'm Van Stokes, and on behalf of my good friend Bert Sugar and all of us here at TPC Sports, thanks for joining us. See you next time.